Andre Ward, super middleweight champion here. Last saw you in the ring, convincing victory, Edwin Rodriguez. How did you feel about that performance?
I thought it was a good performance. I don't think it was a great performance. I got a pretty high standard when it comes to just the way I like to perform, and that was 14 months of a layoff. It was rehab, and we pretty much got the car in neutral for that fight. We weren't even in gear for that fight, but he was a #1 contender. He was the best opponent out there. Coming off of 14 months, it's not an easy guy to fight, but I felt like I looked good. We did what we had to do.
Looking at your career, what do you want from your career? What do you think about the future? What do you want?
I mean, I think I've proven myself. I've proven myself time and time again, and in this business, you got to keep proving yourself until you hang them up. And I've done that. I fought the best since I've been, when I was a young kid in the sport, 17, 18 fights, I started fighting the best. And I had to grow up fast in the Super 6. I fought guys when they were the most feared, when they were at the top of their game. Mikael Kessler, Alan Green when he was the most feared and didn't get a shot, a Hungry Abraham, a Bika who had nothing to lose. I mean, the list goes on and on. Chad Dawson coming off of a big win with Bernard Hopkins. So, people are always going to take away from those fights after they're over and say, oh, that guy was weight drained or this guy wasn't. Yeah. But we beat those guys. And it's just about continuously winning, man. And the next step for me is pay-per-view. Like, that's the next step.
Okay.
And I'm getting this legal stuff taken care of with the promoter. And once we get over that obstacle, man, it's time to go to another level.
Is there anything about the legal stuff you want to say, or is that just something you're trying to take care of?
I mean, it's working itself out, Yeah. A lot of people got a lot to say about it, and most of the people aren't qualified to speak on it because they don't know the details. As simple as that. And I've said it, and I'll say it again, that when a fighter pushes back on the industry or pushes back on the status quo and the way things have always been done, it's always looked at in a negative sense.
Yeah.
But I'm the guy that's physically in there taking the risk. I'm the guy that's in there putting it all on the line. And if I took it this far, it's for a real reason. So sometimes, man, in business you outgrow people, and I think we've outgrown each other.
Yeah.
And it just kind of is what it is. We had a good ride, but hopefully we can put this behind us, man, and I can move on with my career.
Okay, and you mentioned your previous performances, like how people say stuff. There's always going to be that, whether it's the boxing media, the fans, whatever. How have you learned how to kind of deal with that over the years?
You know what? When you're younger and you don't know any better, you don't think that'll ever happen to you. You think that people are going to see things the way it should be, seen, and they're going to give you the just due. And I get a lot of my just due. I'm not going to, make it seem like it's all bad. And really, a lot of the stuff that's written today, I don't read it, and I've kind of been forced to be in that position because, some of it is not objective. I'm not the kind of guy, and I tell even like writers that I know and stuff, from a personal level, you guys don't always have to write good about me. If I stink out the joint, I stink out the joint. I'm not saying you always got to be favorable. When you get the sense that it's some type of personal thing that a person has against you, and they got nothing good to say, and it's always negative, like that's the kind of stuff where there's really no place for that in boxing. And people always say, is boxing dying? Is boxing dying? Boxing's not dying. The fighters have always fought, and the fighters are going to continue to do what they do, but it's that kind of stuff that casual fans read that turn them away from the sport. If our own people have nothing good to say about the top fighters in the sport, why would a casual fan want to follow and watch? And I'm talking about stuff that's said on television and things that are written. So those are the kind of things that are just, not just when it's written about me, but any fighter. It's one thing to be objective and say, man, this guy needs to do this, he needs to change that. But when you start trashing guys, that's the stuff that it's no place for that in the sport.